in nutrition 2. We are going to highlight about micronutrients 1, that is vitamins, and micronutrients 2, that is minerals. And the unit 6 is we are going to talk about planning balanced diet. So these three concepts which we are going to see it today. So what I would like to suggest you all today, each one of you, as vitamins and minerals, each one of you can take one nutrient, and I'll be scrolling down the each nutrient. I will give you uh, the introduction part and everything. So whatever you are able to know about that each nutrient or vitamin, you can give some functions or you can highlight about the important points. That's it. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
yes,
Will you
ma'am.
all participate in this one? Is that okay with you all?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So here under micronutrient vitamins, we have introduction. We have two different categories under vitamins, that is fat soluble vitamins, water soluble vitamins. So fat soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, K comes under fat soluble vitamins. And water soluble vitamins, all the B complex and vitamin C will be categorized under water soluble vitamins. So, what is meant by vitamins? How the word has come up, the vitamins, which we are going to see right now. So, the vita part of the word is vitamin, which means life, and it is very important. All these vitamins are essential for our life and health. So, it has to regulate the metabolism, helps in the growth and maintenance of our body, and protects against disease. Whenever we these vitamins and minerals plays a major role to overcome that one. So in the last class we have discussed about the macronutrients, that is carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and water also has been included under that category. But today we are going to focus on vitamins and minerals. So fat soluble vitamins, vitamin B, E, K, which are categorized under the vitamin. Can everybody mute yourself unless and until it is required? You can switch, unmute yourself, and then you can talk. Thank you.
Ma'am,
So
excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am,
yes,
can you please zoom the screen because the letters are very, I'm unable, it's not
this
visible.
one.
Yes, ma'am, the screen which you are presenting, it's a very small font actually.
Yeah, I will do it for
Yeah,
you.
just little zoom.
Yeah, it
Is
can be
that
Yeah,
good?
made. Yeah,
better,
it
ma'am.
can be made
Thank
full
you, ma'am.
screen also.
Yes, ma'am.
Full
It's
screen.
clear, ma'am, now. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So vitamin A. Who is going to talk about the vitamin A first? Please tell your name and then give the important points which will be considered under the vitamin A. I'm sharing my screen. I will scroll down also. You can read and you can tell.
Ma'am, I'm Geetu speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, vitamin A is found in foods of animal origin, and it is
Okay.
like if there are low levels, then it can affect the eyes and children when they are small. Then they if they have low vitamin A, then they have a lot of problems. And animal foods contain vitamin A.
Yes.
Plant foods do not contain retinol. And all yellow and orange colored pigments called carotenoids which can be converted to retinol in the body.
Okay.
Yeah. So green leafy vegetables, ripe fruits, mango, papaya, yellow, orange vegetables, carrot, pumpkin, all those are very good in vitamin A.
Yes.
And it is usually it's converted from retinol. It converts to carotenoids, no, ma'am? Yeah, sorry. The carotene is converted to retinol in the cells of the body.
And what are the main functions which we are going to talk under the
It is,
vitamin A?
yeah, it is helpful in maintaining normal vision.
So retina has two kinds of cells that is
Rods and
rods and
cones.
cones. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
What does this rods and cones are going to do? They are very sensitive to changes in light,
Yes,
but they
ma'am.
react different and perform different functions. So you can look over here the diagram of the eye and then cornea, lens, and retina, and how the light will reflect and how we are going to see. Okay, and not only this one. Yes, go ahead for the next function.
Yes, ma'am. The other one would be supporting growth of the body and the soft tissues of the skeleton and the growth of the skeletal tissues and the soft tissues. Sorry, ma'am. So vitamin D, the bones, when it is less, the bones do not get their full length, and the overall growth of the body is affected. So there may be stunted growth. And
Yes.
vitamin A also protects against diseases. The skin becomes very dry and cracks will appear in the skin or inner cells and the digestive tract or the lungs. And diarrhea and respiratory infections and eye infections are very common. And when children are small, it is like it can cause even death if the vitamin A deficiency is very severe.
That's very good of you, Gitu. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Can any other person can take up vitamin D?
Ma'am, my name is Suresh Kumar. And I'll go with vitamin D.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Vitamin D is also called a sunshine vitamin, where it is mentioned in the book. This is an essential vitamin which will be modulating many of the functions in our body. That's why it may be called as an immunomodulator vitamin.
Mm-hmm.
So this is manufactured by from the use of sunlight. Precisely, it's an infrared ultraviolet beta rays, which will be absorbed by the second layer or the subfunctional layer of the skin, and it will be converting the fat, which is at the superficial layer of the skin, to vitamin D, and this will be absorbed by the body through the fat, because this vitamin is a fat soluble vitamin, and this will vitamin D will be helping us in strengthening our bones by taking out the calcium which we intake uh, from the food. It acts as a catalyst by binding up the calcium to the bones, and may the vitamin D can be obtained through these food sources like mushroom and maybe some tuna fish, ma'am. So
Good.
that's it, ma'am.
And you need to talk about the calcium and phosphorus also. Okay, both are
Yes, ma'am.
there under the vitamin D. Okay.
Yeah, interlinked with calcium and phosphorus.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And next, who is going
Ma'am,
to
can I
talk
share
about
some?
vitamin E?
Ma'am, can I share some supplementary notes?
Can I
In
know
addition
your
to
name, please?
I'm Pakar or ma'am. Ma'am, Pakar here. Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, Pakar here. Ma'am, can I
Yes,
share
Pakra.
some supplementary ideas in addition to Suresh Kumarji's speech? Ma'am, as per my learning, I
Sure.
would like to share the information that vitamin D is also considered as anti-cancer vitamin, and it is found only in animal sources of food.
Fakar, can you, Fakar, excuse me, Fakar, can you please talk loudly?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible
Yeah.
right now, ma'am? Am I
Yes,
audible,
you
ma'am?
are.
Ma'am, I want to, ma'am, share
Yes,
some
yes.
information that I had. Uh, as far as vitamin D is concerned, vitamin D is also called the anti-cancer vitamin, which is the only fat-soluble vitamin found in the animal sources of food and non-green plants like mushroom, as rightly mentioned by Sureji. Only that much,
Yes.
ma'am, I want to share. Thank you.
Is anybody there who is going to talk about vitamin E?
Uh, good, af- Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Aishwarya. I'll talk about vitamin E, ma'am.
Yes, Aishwarya. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
vitamin E is called tocopherol actually. It is a most
Yes.
active vitamin and it is present mainly in plant sources. It's like olive oil, coconut oil, sunflower oil, and it is also present in green leafy vegetables like broccoli, kale, spinach, avocado, almonds, and peanuts, etc. Am I clear, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Please go
Yes,
ahead.
okay. And vitamin E is the most powerful natural antioxidant, and uh, and free radicals are continuously being generated in living system, and their prompt inactivation is of great importance. Another function of vitamin E is the free. It is protect the RBC cells from hemolysis actually. And vitamin E, since it is a fat soluble vitamin, and for the absorption of fat soluble vitamin, it requires bile salt for the absorption. So it is absorbed along with the fat. That's why it is called fat soluble vitamin. Then vitamin E also prevent an aging. That's why it is supplemented. It is included in all cosmetics since it prevent aging, and it also reduces the risk of myocardial infarction by reducing the oxidation of LDL. Then the deficiency is not reported in case of human being, but the deficiency can cause hemolytic anemia, infertility, then dietary hepatic necrosis, and muscular dystrophies, etc. And it is also a vitamin. Vitamin E is has an interrelationship with the selenium, which is a mineral. It is present in glutathione. Selenium is present in glutathione peroxidase. Both together will prevent the oxidation and destroys the free radical formation. And it also minimizes lipid peroxidation.
Excellent, Aishwarya. Very good.
Thank you,
You
ma'am.
have given nice information. I hope everybody are noting down the points which are highlighting each one of you, right? Okay. Any other person who is going to talk about the vitamin K? Is there anyone who is going to talk about vitamin K?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Monica, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Vitamin K uh, is a fat soluble vitamin, and it is found in the leafy vegetables like spinach, cabbage, lettuce, etc. It is also called as an anti-bleeding vitamin because it starts a uh, anti-bleeding vitamin. It starts a finger-like meshy appearance when bleeding occurs. It prevents uh, uh, it prevents the bleeding when injured by uh, any accidents or something. Mm. And it helps in formation of a protein called prothrombin, which in turn it is essential for the blood clotting. Vitamin K is also stored in the amounts in the body, and its concentration is not high in any particular tissue. The main function of the vitamin K is anti-bleeding, ma'am. It
Yeah,
helps in clotting of blood.
very
That's
good.
it, ma'am. That's it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So we have discussed about the vitamin A, which is very important for our vision, and vitamin D. Again, it helps for our bone development and everything, bone growth with the help of calcium and phosphorus. Vitamin E, it is important, and vitamin K for the
Clotting of
anti-bleeding. That
blood.
is, whenever it is cut or wound is happening, it stops immediately. The bleeding will not be seen much more. If vitamin K deficiency is there, again, the bleeding will be continuously seen. So, all these vitamins are very, very important, and it is categorized under the fat soluble vitamins.
Excuse me,
Now,
ma'am.
coming to the, yes, yes, who is that? Who would like to talk to me?
Ma'am, I am
Yes,
Babita Rana.
Babita.
Ma'am, in fact, here we are discussing only about vitamin K1. We are not discussing about vitamin K2, which is used in mineral absorption, calcium, especially to the bones.
Yes. Whatever
So,
has been there in the syllabus, we are seeing that one. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So that means we have to read just for
So
the
now
this
coming,
much for the exams, nothing outside.
see, if you want to get more information, you can have it. But during your examination, this is all will be in the basic this one because it is in PG diploma, right? If you are going for the regular course, it will
Okay,
be in
thank
STEM.
you, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. So now we are going to start with the water soluble vitamins. So vitamin C and all B complex vitamins will be categorized under the water soluble vitamins. So the excess amount of these vitamins is instead excreted from the body in the form of urine. And coming to the vitamins of B complex, we are going to see under this one is thiamine, or it can be
Riboflavin.
called as riboflavin B2, folic acid, niacin, and vitamin B12. And there are many more vitamins which are categorized under B complex also.
Pantothenic acid.
But we are highlighting this one. Yes,
Pantothenic acid, ma'am.
yes, there
Yeah.
are. That's what I'm
Yeah.
telling.
Yeah.
There
It's
are
a
many
complex
more
of
which
vitamins.
are.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Mm.
So, who is going to talk about the thiamine? Yes, anybody is there to talk about the thiamine?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, this is Gitika Gupta, and I would like to talk about this.
yes,
Yeah, ma'am, I have highlighted some points, so I'm going to read this from book only.
okay,
Yeah, ma'am, B1 is widely distributed in animal and plant foods, and among from food. 1 minute, ma'am. Sorry. And foods, its animal origins are lean meats, poultry, and egg yolks are good sources of thiamine.
And from plant sources?
From plant sources,
Husk of
cereals and whole pulses. Cereals in plant sources, cereals and whole pulses are good source of thiamine. And in meat, it's egg, yolk, poultry. And
thiamine is lost when rice is polished a lot.
Yeah.
when
And
rice,
thiamine is important in the metabolism of carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
That's why thiamine deficiency leads to energy losses.
Thiamine. Can you repeat it
B1.
again?
Thiamine is lost when village practices are that this food is rice is repeatedly washed and
Yes.
dehusked, polished too much. In that case, thiamine is
Yes.
lost. Thiamine plays a
Yes.
very important role in carbohydrate metabolism. Carbohydrates are main sources of energy for the body. As such, if carbohydrates are this vitamin doesn't function properly, there is severe energy loss of liberty and all so on happens when there is loss of thiamine in the body. Deficiency of thiamine, I would say.
What is the deficiency caused for this thiamine?
Beriberi.
I like beriberi, right?
So, uh,
sprouts has more thiamine.
sprouts?
Sprouts and this fermentation of whole grain cereals, this has content of B complex vitamin and vitamins. That sprouts has these thiamine.
Yeah. And next who is going to talk about riboflavin? Quickly we can discuss, please.
Vitamin riboflavin
B2?
B2, it causes cracked
Red
edges
tongue.
of the
Deficiency
lips,
leads to red tongue.
red tongue, and also cracks at the corners of the mouth and all. And the mucous membrane inside the mouth lining, it gets depleted very fast, which might lead to ulcers of mouth in case of deficiency of riboflavin. It helps in renewal of mucosa, mouth mucosa.
Yes. And anyone who can talk about the niacin quickly?
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Koteshwari. Niacin is another member of B complex family. That good sources of niacin include meat, fish, poultry, and cereals, pulses, and nuts, and oil seeds also. So one interesting point about niacin that it can also formed in the body from amino acid that calls tryptophan. Milk
Yes,
is a
tryptophan.
good example of food rich source. Tryptophan, but not niacin. That that tryptophan present in milk protein can be converted a niacin in the body. Niacin also a part of coenzymes. It helps release the energy from the end of the products of the digestion, carbohydrates and fats and proteins. That folic acid also widely distributed in foods, green
Folic
leafy
acid,
vegetables.
excuse me, Bhuvaneshwari, you have talked
Potential,
about the
ma'am, sorry.
niacin. Uh, Bhuvaneshwari, you have talked about the niacin. That's good. If you can observe, all of you, if you are observing this one way or the other, all nutrients are interlinked. It is interconnected in the metabolism.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
majority the macronutrients, when we are highlighting about the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats,
Yes.
all these micronutrients also will take part in the metabolism one way or the other. So to complete that one, all these nutrients are required. So for that reason, we are going to highlight it.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, Bhuvneshwari. Can any
Thank
other
you, ma'am.
person can talk about folic acid?
Folic acid is also called as
Yeah,
folacin. Folacin. It is very important, especially during pregnancy and
Yes.
child rearing. Folic acid levels have to be maintained for safety of the embryo and all that. It is also found in cereals and pulses, especially in germinating things. It's very rich in folic acid. Folic acid is well absorbed along with iron. Generally, they give it as Phe-Fol or iron plus folic acid for maximum absorption of folic acid.
Very good.
it's an important role in blood formation. So that's why,
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, that's very good. That's why it's important during pregnancy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. For mother and child.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
And who is going to talk about cobalamin? Uh, we all need to understand we have only 1 hour to complete this block too. So please keep do active participation so that we can wind it up within the time, right?
Ma'am, vitamin B12 or cobalamin is present only in foods of
Cyanocobalamin.
animal origin.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am,
Yes, please
can you
go
hear me?
ahead. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So non-veg foods usually are rich sources of vitamin B12. Plant foods do not contain much of vitamin B12. And it is also synthesized in our body in the intestinal tract by certain helpful bacteria. And also, if vegetarians nowadays, we find that a lot of vegetarians have a loss, have less vitamin B12, and sometimes they have to take injections and transfusions to make sure that they have enough. It can affect the nervous system also, ma'am, and people can lose their balance, and sometimes it affects the memory also. Low vitamin B12, so it is also absorbed in the presence of an intrinsic factor,
Mm-hmm.
and it cannot be, yeah, the vitamin B12 produced by the bacteria is hence excreted through the body through feces. And we actually need very little vitamin B12. But animal foods will contain it, and milk also contains a lot of vitamin B12. Yeah, so it requires the proper functioning of the digestive tract, nervous system, and the bone marrow. So for that, we need good amount of vitamin B12, and also in the formation of red blood cells.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So who is going to talk about vitamin C?
Vitamin B12 deficiency may lead to pernicious anemia.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And vitamin C, who is going to talk about vitamin C?
Ma'am, good
Ma'am.
afternoon, ma'am. Myself, Parvati.
Yes, Parvati.
Yeah, vitamin C or ascorbic acid is also termed as the fresh food vitamin because fresh fruits and vegetables are its major sources. Fresh foods and fresh citrus fruits like orange, lime, and lemon, and other fruits and vegetables like guava, amla, papaya, green leafy vegetables, tomatoes, green chilies, and capsicum are some of the excellent sources of vitamin C. Root vegetables like potato, sweet potato, small amounts of vitamin C there, and significant amounts only when consumed in larger quantities. Cereals and pulses as such are poor in vitamin C, but when sprouted and fermented become good sources of vitamin C.
Yes.
Animal foods like fish, meat, milk, poultry, and eggs also having ascorbic acid.
I mean, no ascorbic. It doesn't contain vitamin C. It will
Yes,
contain
yes,
very
ma'am.
little amount.
A very little amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
So, out of these, all these food sources, which food source has very high amount of vitamin C?
Amla, ma'am.
Orange. Amla.
Yes,
Amla,
orange.
Orange.
Amla.
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 Yes,
orange,
very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Amla has the
Citrus fruits.
highest amount
Guava.
the content.
Guava
Amla
is
is
called as
number one.
poor man's apple.
But
citrus
amla is
fruits.
the highest.
Citrus fruits.
And you need to remember that the fresh fruits only, the fresh citrus fruits,
Lemon,
they
ma'am.
have very high content of vitamin C.
Yeah,
If it is
lemon, ma'am.
as it is getting delayed, the vitamin C content will be losses can be seen in those fruits. And whenever we are getting
Vitamin
the,
C is very sensitive to heat, kada ma'am.
pardon
Yes,
me,
ma'am.
Very sensitive to heat, ma'am.
Vitamin. Yes, ma'am.
yes,
It gets lost while heating.
yes. So we have to be
And one
very
more. Yes. One more thing about vitamin C, ma'am, this is Sridevi speaking, ma'am, is that vitamin C cannot be stored in the body like, other vitamins like fat soluble vitamins can be stored for some time. That's why government can organize programs like drops of vitamin D and all that. But vitamin C doesn't store in the body, and everyday sources has to be taken on a daily basis. It's like, you can't yesterday I had eaten a lot of vitamin C, so today I can take it easy. It is not like that.
yes,
It's one of the vitamins that cannot be stored in the body.
yeah. And not only that one, whenever
All
we
B
fall
complex.
sick or whenever we have wounds or anything, this is the
Excess
first one
dose.
to heal that one.
Yes, excess
Yes,
So
ma'am.
supplement of
vitamins,
vitamin C has to be taken.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Very
not
good.
only that one, it aids the absorption of iron. So whenever
Yes.
you are taking the iron content sources in our food, it is
Vitamin C
it
is
will be
essential.
advisable that we need to take
Right.
vitamin C rich sources foods also.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. I
ma'am.
think that's why probably they have this Dex orange syrup
Yes,
wherein iron and vitamin C are together.
yes. So it is the main functions of vitamin C is wound healing, dealing with stress, absorption of iron, protecting
Protect from
certain
surface
substances from destruction.
destruction.
So all these nutrients, as we have discussed in the last week, in block one, we are highlighting about the all that terminology. Along with that one, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Today we have discussed about the vitamins and minerals. Not only that one, we are going to see that the very interesting part is how the how you are going to plan the food. Just I'm going scrolling down this one so that you can see.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
one
we
small question, ma'am. These
yes.
interesting sessions, are they recorded, ma'am? Where in case we miss any of those sessions, can we access them, ma'am? These audios, are they in the audio recorded format?
I think you need to ask the study center people. I have
Okay,
no
ma'am.
clue
Thank
about
you.
this one.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Now we are going to start with the minerals. So under minerals, we have calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, which are categorized under the larger amounts, and iron, iodine, and others will be considered as smaller amounts of minerals. So who is going to talk about the first mineral here? Calcium. Calcium and phosphorus will go together.
Bones and teeth.
Yes. Development of bones and the teeth, it gives, and how much a percentage it should be.
20 to 30%.
100 milligram per 100.
together of these two minerals, it should be 75%.
75%.
Yeah, it should be there in our body. And 1200 grams of calcium and 400 to 700 grams of phosphorus. And all of you need to focus that for each nutrient, there is a certain amount should be present in our body. If it is less than that or more than that, definitely we have disorders, or we are going to face infections or illness or sick, whatever it is, we are going to the other side of the thing. So to maintain our healthy body, we need to have
Bones,
requirement.
nails,
Pardon me.
bones, nails, and other exoskeletal structures modifications also.
Yes, which will be categorized under the calcium and phosphorus, along with the bones and teeth, all the other things also we are going to see. So the first function of calcium and phosphorus is development of bones and teeth, and regulation of body process, that is apart from this building of bones and teeth, calcium performs regulatory functions as well. So how it is going to be seen is calcium helps in regulating the contraction and relaxation of muscles, especially of that heart. And not only that one, it regulates the passage of substances into and out of the cell. So it is intracellular and extracellular also is going to be taken care. And not only that one, it is going to transfer the message from one cell to the other cell. And it also helps in the clotting of blood. And phosphorus, mainly the functions of phosphorus is formation of a substance which aids in transport of fat in the blood and synthesis of certain coenzymes, which plays a crucial role in the metabolism and formation of certain basic genetic material. So this material is going to be involved in passing on specific characteristics from parents to the children. And also the capture and storage of vital energy in the cells, mainly tissues, by forming high energy compound. So this is how the calcium and phosphorus together will helpful, and in connection with the vitamin D. And what are the food sources? Rich of food sources under this two category are milk and milk products. So milk
Dairy
products are
products.
curd, koya, chana, and all those are the excellent sources of calcium. And foods like fish and dried fish and other seafoods like crab and shrimp also categorized, which are good sources of calcium. And coming to the plant sources, ragi is the very rich in calcium, and pulses like Bengal gram, black gram, green gram, moth beans, rajma, soya bean, all these also will have the good amounts of calcium. And green leafy vegetables, we need to highlight this one here because most of us will not keep our at the menu plan, which we will not give much preference also. So here, how many nutrients are going to incorporate, if we are going to incorporate those foods in our daily menu or in the diet, so we are going to get much of the nutrient content from that. So green leafy vegetables like amaranth leaves, colocasia leaves, fenugreek leaves, mustard leaves, which has the good amount of calcium. And then and nuts and oil seeds, that is till seed, particularly rich in calcium. And coconuts, almonds, walnuts also has the very good amounts. When we compare with the other thing, it has the fairly good amount of calcium. So eggs, meat, milk, poultry, fish are excellent sources of phosphorus, and cereals are also rich of this mineral. Even phosphorus also is present in the cereals. So whatever we are going to have the food, it should be in combination of all the food sources. Then only we will get right amount of the content which it is required for our body. And the absorption of utilization, and Sodium, sodium also is required for us. So how much it is required for an adult body is 120 grams of sodium. So most of this will be present in the extracellular fluid. That is, it is outside the cell, not inside the cell. It is outside the cell, so that it will be balancing between the calcium and sodium. All this will be intracellular and extracellular. So how much it should be present in within the cell and outside the cell, so it will be balancing the body.
Ionic balance.
Yeah. So the first function of sodium is regulating the balance of extracellular and intracellular. So sodium is the principal mineral in the extracellular fluid, and it is responsible for maintaining the fluid balance. And it also regulating the alkalinity and acidity of the body fluids, and aiding in the passage of messages, that is from one cell, one nerve cell to the other cell. It is going to transfer the messages, it is sending the messages. And also contraction of muscles also, it is going to be helpful, regulating the passage of substances into and outside of the cell. As we have seen in the intracellular and extracellular, it is going to be helpful. So food sources, commonly we are going to highlight about the salt which we are going to use it, that's a table salt. Okay. And apart from this sodium, that is the salt, it is consisting in the milk, egg white, meat, poultry, fish, and green leafy vegetables like spinach, fenugreek leaves, pulses. Among all the plant sources, it consists of sodium. So how much it is going to be provided in a day is 200 mg. Mg is for milligrams. So 1 teaspoon of salt gives almost 2000 mg of sodium. So next one is the potassium. It is present in twice as much amount of sodium in the body. So approximately 250 grams of potassium is contained in the body, and most of this is present in the cell, that is intracellular fluid, as I have mentioned. And the main functions of potassium are regulation of balance of intracellular and extracellular fluid along with the sodium, and regulation of alkalinity or acidity of the body fluids, and role in muscle activity. So it is very, it has a very significant role in the activity of skeleton and heart muscle. And what are the food sources of potassium are meat, poultry, fish are the good sources of this one. And coming to the plant sources, pulses, fruits, vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, which are very good for the potassium.
Cauliflower,
And
broccoli,
fruit,
such a substance.
yes. And fruits also, vegetables, bananas, potatoes, carrots, tomatoes, lemons, which are containing appreciable amounts, like not very much, but it's okay. Whenever we are having, we are going to get the uh, potassium from this one. So whole grain cereals also provide some amounts of potassium. So chloride, it is approximately 100 grams of chloride,
Excuse
which
me, ma'am.
is,
One
yes.
doubt about the potassium. Ma'am, few common people will say, means I know that means um coconut water, do that contain potassium?
Yes, it contains. Why not?
Okay, actually I'm not seeing this in here, no, so I thought it is not correct.
See,
Fine.
every food has its own. I mean, like it has nutrients, but we need to see to that which food has high amounts of that particular nutrient. So how to
Okay.
incorporate and everything, and during for complications or anything, any type of disorders or anything, we will certainly avoid those foods. We will not include it.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
we need to know that which has the highest source, so that we need to balance in our diet. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Coming to the chloride, body contains approximately 100 grams of chloride, and mostly it is seen extracellular fluid. that is especially in the blood plasma. And rest of the chloride is present inside the cell, and it is maintenance of sodium chloride and potassium chloride. And functions of this chloride is sodium potassium chloride are closely interlinked, as it is evident from our as we have discussed in the intracellular and extracellular, it balances that sodium chloride and potassium chloride within that extracellular and intracellular fluids. And food sources of chloride is all the plant foods. And magnesium, adults should contain approximately 20 to 25 grams of magnesium, and it is present in the bones in the combination of calcium and phosphorus. And functions of magnesium are regulating the passage of substances into and out of the cells, that is intracellular and extracellular, and also maintaining the activity of many enzymes. Magnesium functions as a coenzyme in metabolism, buildings, bones, and teeth. It involves in the bone mineralization and maintaining the functions of nervous system, helps in passage of messages from one nerve cell to the other, and maintaining the smooth muscle action and building proteins. So these are all the food sources you can go through. And uh, micro minerals which are having very less amount, but it has a own importance also. So iron is the one, so it is required very trace only, but it has a very good importance in our body. So it should have 3 to 5 grams. And the main function of the this iron is um,
Oxygen
oxygen
carry.
transport, oxygen transport, and provision of oxygen for muscle contraction, promotion of oxidation within the cells. So it here you can see in the diagrammatic representation how the oxygen it is taking in and passing through the lungs, and how it is circulating throughout this one. And not only that one, maintenance of specific brain functions like immediate memory, capacity to learn, and attention span, and also component of certain enzymes and substances which will be aiding in the metabolism. And it also protective functions as well, as like vitamin A, iron too helps in preventing infections. And food sources are like green leafy vegetables, amaranth, mustard leaves, colocasia leaves, mint leaves, and cereals, whole wheat flour, rice flakes, bajra, ragi, jova, and pulses, especially all the whole ones. And soya bean is an example of pulse containing good amounts of iron. Not only this one, jaggery has a very good amount of iron. So instead of sugars, if you can replace it with this jaggery, then you will be having the iron content for your body. And absorption of this one, iodine. So coming to this, what all we have discussed under the block 1 and till now under block 2. So how to plan a diet, balanced diet. So as I have mentioned in the last week, like what is mean by balanced diet, the definition and everything I have given. So here you need to know that how to uh, plan that balanced diet, how to incorporate the foods. You should know once you know the all the foods and which are rich in those food sources and everything, then how to incorporate that one. You can focus on that area also.
Ma'am, iodine is associated with thyroid functioning also, no, ma'am?
Yes.
Thyroidism,
Yes.
goiter.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So here the concept of a balanced diet is as I have mentioned earlier, again I'm repeating it. One which contains different type of foods in such quantities and proportions which will need for the calories, minerals, vitamins, and other nutrients, and adequately met, and small provision is made for extra nutrients to withstand short duration of leanness. So here you can see these are all the foods, but arrangement of these nutrients. When you are taking foods, but you need to see focus for the nutrients also. You can observe here. This is how you are going to balance the foods which you are going to take. So it consists of different types of food items, meet the need for nutrients, provides for period of leanness when the diet may possibly not supply adequate amounts of all nutrients. So here, when we are talking about the balanced diet, we need to highlight and give emphasis on RDA. RDA is nothing but recommended dietary allowances. So recommended dietary allowances are nothing but from the infant stage till the old age, like pregnancy, lactation, infancy, um, preschool, school going, and then adolescent, and then adulthood. All these age categories are there. But during those ages, we are not going to give same food for all different type of age groups. Do you all agree or not?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And the type of food which we are giving, we are going to modify that one for that particular age group, and we are going to give in a different variation preparation. For example, like if you are going to talk about the infant baby, you are going to mostly focus on the porridges. I mean, like a gruel kind of thing, you are going to incorporate. And initially, you are going to start with strained juices, and you are going to incorporate slowly. You gradually you will start with strained and the soft food and normal food till the baby is allowing or accepting the food. You are going to focus, but the same food you are not going to give for the school going children. You will give them what is required for that age group. So here you need to focus that RDA is very important, that at a one age group, how much nutrient content is required, and how you are going to incorporate those all food sources in a nice way, colorful manner, and economically acceptable. So here, to plan that one, we need to focus on the selection of right kind of foods, the inclusion of suitable amounts of these foods so as to meet their nutrient needs. So the first thing is based on the classification based on source. Based on the source, it has been classified. The simplest and most obvious classification is based on the interrelatedness of certain foods items in terms of similar sources. So you can notice over here cereals and millets, pulses, nuts and oil seeds, green leafy vegetables. I'm repeating cereals and millets, pulses, nuts and oil seeds, green leafy vegetables. Coming down, you're going to see that root vegetable, other vegetables, fruits, milk and milk products, sugar and jaggery, fats and oils, flesh foods, that is all fish, meat, poultry, all will be considered under flesh foods, and eggs, condiments, and spices. So all these things, whatever I have listed above, For example, like cereals and millets, if we are going to highlight about this particular food group, under this example of rice, wheat, maize, bajra, ragi, jova. So, what are the major nutrients which you are going to get it out of all this food group whenever you are incorporating in your menu plan? So, it may mostly you are going to talk about the carbohydrate, protein, and if it is in combination with pulses, if it is in combination with pulses, yes, it's going to give the good protein. Okay, not only that one, we are going to highlight about the vitamin B, that is niacin, thiamine, iron, calcium, carotene. So you are going to get all these nutrients with the help of cereals and millets. Not only this one, when you are combining with pulses also. So this one is highlighting, pulses are highlighting about the protein, that is again in combination with cereals. It is in combination with cereals, you are going to get energy, protein. Both you are going to get it. Yes, that is bodybuilding. And coming to the not only this one, vitamin B vitamins, that is thiamine, niacin, and vitamin C also. Why vitamin C here? Again, sprouted pulses when we are going to do, then it is going to be it is enhanced with the vitamin C content in that sprouted sprouts. Okay, coming to the nuts and oil seeds, proteins, fat, B complex vitamins, calcium, and other minerals. They are not specifying each and everything here. When they are telling about other minerals, all will be included. Okay, and green leafy vegetables, mostly we are going to highlight about the calcium, iron, carotene, vitamin C, B vitamins, especially riboflavin and folic acid, and fiber also. Fiber also. In the above, you didn't observe the fiber, but here for the green leafy vegetables, you have observed. So, how you are going to incorporate and frequently you are going to inculcate in the diet plan, you have to focus. The same way, all the food groups they have given, you just go through this one. And here, the last this thing, 1 second. Here, as I have mentioned, like RDA, right? You can see about, yes, RDA is nothing but it is requirement in a safety margin. It is not too much or not at all. It should be
Adequate.
it is required for each individual, each age group. All the age groups are required this RDA. So, for what reason? Variation in requirement from individual to individual, periods of low intake, periods of leanness, and nature of diet, cooking losses, all these are mandatory when you are doing the preparation of that particular recipe. And RDAs are set high enough to meet the needs of almost all healthy people. And remember this one, this is very important point. RDA, that is recommended dietary allowances, do not apply to people who are suffering from a disease which influences the nutrient needs. The set of RDA, which I'm going to show you in the next week, I hope so. So that RDA is not, you are not going to give for the disease patient who are suffering with a disease. You are not going to meet those nutrient requirement. It is not required for them. Only for the healthy people, it is required. And not only that one, RDA is for adults, are based on sex, age, body weight, and activity level. I am repeating here. Recommended dietary allowances for adults are based on sex, age, body weight, and activity level. So here you can see the RDA for Indian population group, that is infant, children, and everything, and age, and boys and girls. They have categorized for boys and girls according to the age, how much it should be, and adolescents, adult man, adult woman. So this has been given by the ICMR people. As I have mentioned here, RDA, this is the one which it is required. Quickly, I will tell for men, only for men, you can go through with the other things also. You have category of work for men, right? Sedentary, moderate, and heavy. Sedentary are physically they are not moving a lot. Moderate, little bit physical movement is there, and heavy, yes, they have to give. Labor people are comes under heavy category. So if their body weight is 65 kg, the protein requirement is 54 grams per day, and dietary fiber should be for sedentary man it is 30, for moderate is it is 40, and for heavy activity man it is required 50 grams per day. And calcium it is 1000 milligrams per day, magnesium 440 mg per day, milligrams per day, iron 19 milligrams per day, zinc 17 milligrams per day, iodine 140 mg per day, and thiamine it is sedentary 1.4, for moderate 1.8, for heavy 2.3, and as it goes on for all the other nutrients. Are you able to follow everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then similarly with this one also. You can go through this. Yeah. So for pregnancy and lactation, it is different again. During the pregnancy and lactation, that is 0 to 6 months and 6 to 12 months. It is different. So we have, yes. So guidelines for planning balanced diet, you please go through with this one, and please go through with the block 3, because already we have completed block 1 and block 2. It is in combination with these two only. Block 3 is going to be, we are going to discuss under the block 3. When you are thorough with these two, then it will become very easy for you to understand block 3. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Hope everybody has followed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
I have a
ma'am. Thank
question.
you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Next Sunday also we'll be having the. Please join in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ma'am, I
sir.
have a question, ma'am.
Come prepared. If you have any question, please drop a mail to rchyderabad@the.in.
Sir, at this point, I would like to request that make the audios available, sir, so that we can listen again, which would really help us.
Ma'am, a quick question.
Yes.
Ma'am, do we need to remember all these RDA values?
If you ask me, I will say yes.
Oh,
I
these
mean,
two tables
it is
only
for
we need to
nutrition
remember.
background students. It is required. It is mandatory for all of us.
Ma'am, there is table 6.3, like this is RDA for Indians 2022.
Yes, you are under a PG diploma. So how much ever you can remember and focus, you please try to remember that one.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, I missed my first class, which I felt is very important.
Mhm.
I'm unable to access that first class. Last time when I inquired, I was told to refer to some information. I couldn't hear that properly. Can you let me know, ma'am, so that I will go back and listen to that, or some
Uh,
material?
are you asking for the
Thank
study
you for
material?
asking. I also missed first block.
Yeah, the thing is like you type. I mean, if you go for the website,